Hi everyone, it's Kay here from KayBayly.com, and today our video blog's on stress. Have you ever felt stressed? I'd be surprised if you answered no. So stress is something that affects us in so many different ways, and it can be a fight with somebody. It can be that we have to launch a program. It can be that the finances are bothering us. There can be so many things that are causing our stress levels to rise every single day. And maybe even it's the coming school holidays and you can feel your stress raising. So we're going to talk about stress and what you can do about it. So first off, what is stress? Well, stress is actually a really good design in our human body. It's designed for us to be able to run away from the tiger. So you can imagine if there's a tiger chasing you, you need to put all of your blood and your energy into your legs so you can run fast. It's a really good plan. So you can feel your heart beats faster, you breathe faster, the energy goes to your hands and your feet, and you're ready to run. Climb the tree, do whatever it takes to run away. And so it's a really good design. But of course, most of the stress we face today is not a tiger. It is getting upset with somebody, people not doing what you want, fighting with the husband, angry children, or it's the stress of having to do something in business, it's the stress of doing videos, it's the stress of launching a new program. There's so many areas where it's stress, but not the running away sort. And so those reactions are happening to you. So the heart beats faster, the breathing increases, and you get this sort of energy, but there's nothing to do with it. And you particularly see that with road rage. So we've all had the experience where we've cut someone off, we've merged badly. There's all sorts of areas where we make little mistakes in traffic and other people make little mistakes. And we can, a near miss means that you can feel your heart beat faster. Absolutely. But what do you do with that feeling? And we know there are people who will swear at you, yell at you, give you the finger. They'll do all sorts of things. And all they're really trying to do is get rid of that anxiousness that's occurred because there's been this near miss. But it doesn't go down very well. And of course, some people act on it. And that's not socially acceptable. That's not okay. But what do we do with it? What do you do with those feelings? And most of us just push them down. We go, shouldn't feel like this, the person didn't mean to cut me off in the traffic, it's okay. Or the husband's just yelled at me, but I've got to go to work, so I'll push it down. There's annoying teenage children, but, be nice to them. And so we just keep pushing those feelings down. But what happens is that just stirs us up. So we've all had that feeling of the churned stomach, of that excess energy that's floating around the body, and we don't quite know what to do. And some people have learnt things like going for a run. So exactly what we're talking about with the tiger, so that you go for the run and you get rid of that excess energy. There's hormones, there's things that are happening that cause that. So if you don't feel like going for a run or it's not appropriate right now, what else can you do? And of course, I'm going to suggest tapping. Now you're thinking, how does going like this help my stress? All right? And it's really quite neat because we're tapping on a thing called meridian points. So they're points that are flowing up and down our body, energy channels, and they're going to our brain. Now, in our brain is a thing called the limbic system, and the limbic system is the flight or fight or freeze response. It's where that comes from, and it's right in the center of our head, and it's like a little smoke detector. So if it detects smoke or stress or situations that could be stressful, it fires, and it fires off all those little hormones that cause those physical reactions. And so you're going to do something like you're going to do something like a Facebook Live, and you can feel those things churning around inside of you. And it's a little smoke detector in your brain going off, going beep, 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 this is dangerous, this is dangerous. Now, of course, if you're next to the edge of a cliff or a tiger's chasing you, having something go beep, 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 this is dangerous, is a really good idea. If it's a Facebook Live that you've decided to do, or a new course you're going to launch, or a talk you're going to do, you don't need that smoke detector going off and beeping, but it is, and it's sending those hormones through the system. So what we do is we tap on these meridian points, and it sends a signal back to that limbic system of it's okay. You don't need to fire. You can just relax. And that's really what we're telling our system. This is okay. I've got this. So when we tap, that's what's happening, is we're sending that signal to the brain. Now, the other thing we're doing is we're talking about how we're feeling. So I'm stressed, I can feel my heart beating, I feel my stomach churning. And because we're saying how we're feeling, it's like letting them out. It's sending the signal that I know this is how I feel. And remember, we say, and I love and accept how I am. We understand this. We understand that there's a message coming to our system that says this is stressful. You're right. I'm feeling stressed, but it's okay. And it's like letting the lid off the pressure cooker, and we're letting all that pressure out. And our system calms down. It's pretty cool. And as our system calms down, one of the really important things for what we're doing is that when we're stressed, the blood flows away from this thing called the frontal cortex, the front part of our brain, which is the thinking part of our brain. So have you ever had that experience where you've seen someone coming towards you and you go, I know that person, what is their name? I cannot think of it. And it's just gone. And the more you try, the more it's gone. You can't go, oh, I've got to remember, because it's just gone. But half an hour later, when you're just chatting or walking down the street, and you go, oh, I know who that was. That was my best friend's mother. Oh, I know who that is. And it just pops back into the brain because the stress response is gone. They're no longer having to remember it. And the brain comes back online and you access those memories. So what we want, of course, is when we have to give a talk, we want that front part of our brain to be on now. We don't want it to pop back in half an hour's time and go, oh, I should have said that and I should have done that and should have remembered that. We don't want that to happen. So we're going to tap, and during that tapping, we will send that calming message to the brain, take away that stress response, get the blood flowing back to the front part of our brain, and you will be able to do the things that you want to do, whether it's a Facebook Live or a talk or remember people's names, whatever it is that you want to do, you're now able to do without that stress response taking away the memory. So how does that sound? So that's how tapping helps for stress. It calms down all those stress responses and all of that stress reaction. It calms that down, and then it helps with the memory, with the thinking, with the planning. So if the stress might be, I just cannot make good decisions anymore. I've just completely lost the ability to make good decisions in my business. Well, that's of course a stress. Take the stress down, and suddenly you'll be able to make good decisions. So I hope that helps as to why tapping helps for stress. And what I'd really like is for you to opt in, put your name in there and go over, and I've got a little YouTube clip of tapping for stress. and you can work through with me as we de-stress. So I'd love for you to put your name in there and come on over, and we will tap and de-stress you. So come on over and we will have a fun time tapping away that stress. Bye for now and happy tapping.